All right, guys, what is up? Yes, I know today is Thursday. We have a fairly large event planned for this weekend, so we're going to go ahead and do everything today. My oldest has a softball tournament, and so we are going to go ahead and go live today. Make sure we get our live stream in there. I do love doing the live streams. I really like doing them when there's a lot of participation, and that typically happens on like Friday evenings or Saturday evenings. But unfortunately, this weekend, that's not going to pan out for us. Now, if you would like one of these stickers, let me get one out of the bag here. Let me hold it up right. If you would like one of these stickers, and you want to know how to get your address to me, you want to know how in the world do I get my address to you, Chris? The best and easiest way is to go ahead and message the Chris the Dude Nurse Facebook page. The Chris the Dude Nurse Facebook page is public, and I do answer to messages sent. So if you want to get me that and get you a free sticker, go ahead and message me at Chris the Dude Nurse on Facebook. This is what the page looks like. This is what the group looks like. It is public. So hopefully that'll, help people, get a hold of me. Unfortunately, I thought about, going ahead and doing an email address. I haven't done that yet. I probably should do that. I have thought about doing an email address, and to be quite honest, I would probably do a Yahoo because Gmail is like, when you put something in Gmail, at least when I do, it'll oftentimes go to my phone. So if I create like a Yahoo account, it hopefully won't go to my phone, and sort of give me directions to someone's house on on the email address. So because Siri apparently looks through my stuff. Of course, Siri might look through my Yahoo as well. I don't know. Maybe I just won't check my Yahoo on my phone. That way it never finds out. But in any case, if you want to get one of these awesome stickers, go ahead and message me at the Facebook, Chris the Dude Nurse on the Facebook. And I don't know if you can tell. Maybe that is or isn't picking up. These are very good quality stickers. Like they're awesome. I got them from Sticky Brand. Anybody who's familiar with Sticky Brand, they are vinyl. So if you know anything about electrical tape, those of you who've done a little bit of electrical work or automotive work, they sort of feel like electrical tape. Really cool, actually. I really enjoy them. So glad that they came through with me on that. Normal price for Sticky Brand for a bunch of stickers is something like $67 before shipping, and I got them like 65% off due to a promotion that they were running. So didn't cost me but $30 plus shipping. I think it was like $6. So pretty awesome to get that deal done. But if you want one, like I said, go ahead and message me at the Facebook. And then let me go ahead and make sure that it is a public Facebook. I've tried to search it before and I haven't found it, which is kind of a bummer. But the link is in the YouTube channel. So there is that going on. The link is in the YouTube channel. If you can't search it and can't find it, so there is that. In any case, like I said, we're going to go ahead and do our live stream today. It's paste is Control V. Want to go ahead and do our live stream today because we have a softball tournament coming up this weekend. Anybody who knows anything about softball tournaments, they are forever. They take a long time. They, it's not a quick process to do a softball tournament. So I'm going to be somewhere all weekend. We're leaving tomorrow. My middle child, I've talked about it before. My middle child has special needs, and so tomorrow, I have been lucky enough to get the day off work. So I'm going to Special Olympics for my middle child, which is sort of her time to shine, because unfortunately she's not able to really participate in sports She did do 1 year of t-ball, but some parents are going to completely disagree with me, but I'm going to go ahead and be the one to say I don't want my child to be the trendsetter. I don't want my child to be the first one. I don't want my child to make the first sacrifice to be the special needs child on a certain team. Mainly because I worry about her protection. I worry about kids making fun of her. I worry about kids hitting her with the ball. I worry about kids doing all these things to my sweet little child. And I'm not going to push my child to be the first one to do things. So the 1 year of t-ball, in my opinion, did not go well. And it's good that we did it early because she was only 4 years old. And so it's good we did it early because younger kids are sort of more accepting. You know, if I'd have done that with a bunch of sixth graders, I really don't think they would have been very accepting at all. You know, so since the little 4-year-olds were accepting, and it still, in my opinion, didn't go well, I decided, me and my wife, we both decided, you know what, maybe this is not right for our child. But tomorrow is her time to shine. She gets to play her games. She gets to be on her team, doing her sports, you know, all about her, which is awesome. I really like the fact that the Special Olympics has that, and I'm not sure, maybe it was created by a parent like myself who was like, I really don't want my child out there, you know, protection of my own child. So I really like that. It's the Special Olympics is a very good place for children with needs to get out there and do play and do function, you know, and get the glory of, you know, being good at whatever the sport is. Of course, many of them are modified, especially the ones that my daughter's in. Her games are modified to you know, better suit them, which is good as well. But like I said, I'm sure someone's going to comment and say, Chris, that's wrong. You should probably, you know, you should push your child to do whatever she wants to do. She just wants to have fun. That's what she wants to do. She doesn't want to, you know, she doesn't want to slam dunk on Jordan or Pippen or Steph Curry or, you know, Larry Johnson or whoever. She doesn't want to slam dunk on them. She doesn't, you know, she's not out there to do that. She's not out there to hit home runs over Babe Ruth's head or you know, whoever it may be. She's out there just to have fun, and that is sort of the joy that you get when you go to Special Olympics. It's sort of heartwarming, you know, when you see those kids out there and they're trying their all and they're in their little event and having a good time at it. I really enjoy it. So thankfully, excuse me, I was able to get the day off of work, and the way, sort of put the spotlight back on myself, the way I was able to get my day off of work. So we sold a building. The company I work for sold a building. We downsized. We sold a building, and when they sold the building, they said you got to have everything out of here within, you know, however many days. Of course, that's what they say whenever you sell any building. You know, residential. Even if I was to sell my house right now, they would say either you sell it with all the furniture, or, you know, they say you have to have everything out in so many days. Anyways, the whole reason why I was able to get this day off, might be messed up, might not be messed up, is no one at work has a truck. I have a truck. So we literally loaded everything in my truck. Me and my oldest loaded everything in my truck, went to the landfill, and hauled everything off. Took multiple trips because I have a small truck. Multiple trips, but we were able to do that, and you know, it was definitely fun and definitely helped out a lot for the company. And I honestly was happy to do it. I like doing stuff like that. But they said, hey, Chris, if you want a day off, you know, go ahead and take it, or you know, sort of whenever you want a day off, go ahead and take it. So I chose tomorrow. You know, of course, a little bit in advance. I didn't just do this. You know, it was a good time. Had a lot of fun at it. In any case, so we're heading out of here. Tomorrow after Special Olympics, and going to softball tournament. The thing, I don't know how many travel team parents there are out there, or how many travel team parents are going to watch this. But the thing about a travel sport, it's different because I'd never played a travel sport. I always played school sports because we didn't really have the money growing up to do travel sports. We did what we called like booster club. We did like booster club sports, but we didn't really do like travel sports growing up. But every now and then there would be like a school tournament. But the thing about travel ball or travel sports in general is once you're there, you're there. Like a travel sport, let's say you get the schedule and your travel sport says, oh, you're playing Saturday at 9 a.m. Okay, well, that's all well and good. But if you win or lose that game, you go into a bracket. Or if you win or lose the next game, you go into a different bracket. So we've never played with my oldest. We've never played anything less than 3 games in a day. We've played as many as, I believe, 5. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of time. So if you're traveling at all, which we will be doing, it takes the entire weekend to sort of travel and sort of get those things down. It's a process and it takes a while. I'm looking forward to it, I guess. I guess I got to look forward to it because it is what it is, I'll say, as they say. Excuse me. So we're going to be doing that. I'm going to probably I don't know if I'm going to do a long form video or if I'm going to do a bunch of shorts while we're down there. I like the shorts. I do like the shorts. I'll tell you why I like the shorts. I like the shorts because you don't have to create a thumbnail. You don't have to there's a lot of homework that's sort of taken out of it with the shorts, which is oftentimes a lot of fun. So you don't have to you don't have to worry about a lot of things. But the one thing that I've had the hardest time with is making sure that I'm within either the 15-second window or the 60-second window. So a lot of times I go over or things like that. But you gotta worry about that. You gotta worry about being within your time frame on your shorts, which I have a hard time doing. I like to maybe get wordy telling my stories and things like that. So it happens. It happens from time to time. But it is what it is, as they say. Things happen. Excuse me. Anyways, my wife told me, so kind of rounding back to the travel thing. Last week was spring break for my kids. That's why everything I did was a short last week, because it was so much easier to not worry about thumbnails and not worry about title, or you still got to worry about titles and things like that. That's why everything was short last week. But my wife, last week was spring break. We have a van. We have an old Mazda van, which I fixed, which you may or may not have seen. Chances are, if you're here from Nursing Content, you've never seen that video, or if you aren't here from Nursing Content, you might have seen that video. We got an old Mazda van, and my wife told me the problem is that I've never made a car payment. I myself have never made a car payment. My wife has. She's got a new Highlander. She's made a car payment right now. But I drive junk. I just do. I buy old junk cars, and I drive junk cars, and I work on them myself. And I had hooked up a solar panel to that Mazda, and it was working for a little bit, but my wife told me that I needed to fix it, and I needed to fix it now during spring break. So I had to work on that old Mazda during spring break so that we could also get it ready for this trip we've got coming up, because the Highlander, as awesome as it is, which it is an awesome vehicle and does 99% of everything we need to do, doesn't really have a big enough trunk to hold luggage and ball gear at the same time, which the Mazda does. So we had to worry about that. So, you know, there's that going on too. But oh well. And it also has a roof rack, which a lot of people, you know, don't think about when they get vehicles like that. But anytime I get a vehicle that's enclosed that has third row, I always like for it to have mounts for a roof rack or a roof rack itself. Like my wife's Highlander has a roof rack. It's a very low profile roof rack, but it has one, and I really enjoy that. I don't want to do without a roof rack, just in case. I know I've hauled ladders and things like that on those roof racks because because you never know when you're gonna need it for something. You never know when that's something that you're gonna need, you know. But sorry, I'm trying to like do two things at once here. I have clicked on something and I want it to go away, and it won't. Oh well, it's all good. So I always like to have the roof racks readily available. When you need them, it's always good to have. My mom always told me you always want a truck in your garage or in your driveway, just in case. And my grandfather, he sort of lived by that as well. You always want one truck, just in case. So we always have one or something with roof racks for that same reason, just in case. But things happen. Excuse me. Drinking the Kool-Aid and my throat's I was so dry. Now my throat's getting fluids to it. It's not treating it very well. Let's see, is there any news in healthcare? I don't know. The biggest news, and I've already talked about it, was the biggest news was the people getting busted for doing the nursing license scam. I am so glad that those people got busted and found guilty because I did not enjoy that. I did not enjoy the people buying nursing license from Florida. And the more concerning part is that they bought like a ticket to take the NCLEX. Essentially. And then somehow some of them pass the NCLEX. Like, I don't understand how they pass the NCLEX. That joker's not easy. They lucked into that, or they also took like a test prep course. That NCLEX is not an easy thing to get into, or an easy thing to pass, I should say. But I was glad to see that they sort of got caught. They sort of got busted for that, and they were found guilty, I think, is the proper terminology that I'm looking for. In any case, let's go ahead and do ourselves a look for any sort of healthcare related news. Mardonia. Who is Mardonia? Whoa. Oh, Al Jazeera. I don't know if that's a good website. A lot of abortion care. I'm going to do my best to avoid the abortion conversation. I'm not going to touch that, at least not on my own. I feel like that's a discussion for someone else. I really don't see anything in healthcare that should be overly worried about. I just don't see anything in healthcare I need to worry about as far as talk about it in the chat. That's just not or live stream. Just not a pressing topic, I guess. Excuse me. Let me see if there's anything nursing related. Is there anything nursing related? In the news. Of course, the nursing shortage. Yes, nursing shortage is terrible. Father of 5, nursing student inspires men to join the field. Nursing is something like 96% made up of women. So, yeah, I could see that. I can see how we need that. But, we definitely need more men in nursing. There's definitely industries that more people feel comfortable with a man than a woman. Maybe even management would feel more comfortable with a man in nursing than women. Especially like I could definitely see how more men would probably be required in something like a corrections. Took a while for me to think of it. I don't want to do corrections nursing. I don't correctional nursing. I don't want to, but that's definitely an area of where they could probably benefit more from men in that industry, correctional nursing. Certain mental health aspects. I would not want a man in the room or taking care of a female patient who's has a history of being assaulted, things like that. I would not want a man in that situation, but many mental health settings could definitely benefit from a man being in there, a male nurse in there. I one time did take care of a female who had been assaulted, and I really did not enjoy it. I was uncomfortable with the position that I was in. I still had to be, still had to be professional and whatnot. But I really did not enjoy my situation. There's been other times where I've figured out that I really don't belong where I'm at. And have called upon my female colleagues to sort of trade places, if you will. Say, hey, got this female here who probably needs another female, not me. That's happened several times. Where it's definitely felt more comfortable with a female nurse in the situation rather than myself. But things happen. But let's see if we got any more news going on here. Residents are suffering during staffing crisis in Ohio nursing homes. I am not surprised. Everybody is suffering due to a nursing shortage. I don't see. Somebody's laying off 26 skilled nursing staff. Makes no sense to me. Apparently, nursing homes in Iowa are closing. Terrible things are happening. Due to the nursing shortage. We had a place, not a nursing home, but we had it was a restaurant actually, that shut down. Literally closed the doors and shut down because not because they weren't getting enough customers, they weren't getting enough work, but because they didn't have any staff. They had no staff. And believe it or not, no staff is probably worse than no work. Because if you have too much work and not enough staff, which I was in that position right at the beginning of COVID, we all felt like quitting. We all sort of felt like quitting, but we all sort of felt like that's what we were here to do, if that makes sense. We were like, yeah, well, we're here to work, because it's COVID, we're here to do our part. But then at the same time, we're like, oh, this sucks, I want to quit. It was not fun. I did not enjoy those. The first month was okay because we still had supplies and things like that. So I'd say from like May till September of COVID. No, I don't think we could go anywhere. I think we had to stay home also. So yeah, so I'd say maybe the 1st of April till September in COVID as far as work goes, it sucked. Everyone was working all the time. No one had days off. Couldn't go anywhere either. I remember coming home thinking, oh, we're never, ever, ever getting more staff. If you got sick or whatever, there was nobody to float to you. You were just down. There was no one there to help. It was no fun. But good times came afterwards, which is good. And we're sort of still seeing the remnants of COVID, or the initial COVID, but it's really gone away from what it was before. Definitely it's gotten better from how it was back in early 2020. And I really hate it for the nursing students who were nursing students at that time. That was no fun for them, I know. It wasn't fun for us. So I imagine it really was not fun for the nursing students. Yeah, but things happen. It is what it is, I guess. But now, like I said, Ohio is seeing nursing shortages, and Iowa is shutting down nursing homes because of staff shortages. And then they want to cap the stinking travel pay, when it's clearly the travel nurses' fault that they're, taking their pay. What they should cap, instead of what the travel nurse gets paid, is they should cap what the agency can charge. Like, don't cap the nurse, let them continue on. Let them continue on making their money, let them be them. They're not a one percenter, and they're not a CEO, whatever it is. They're not one of those. They're just out there to make a paycheck. And they're feeling the need that you have. And it seems like the travel nurse pay cap is just, it's, in my opinion, it's a dumb idea. They're just going to deter people from becoming travel nurses. What they should do instead is go ahead and cap the companies. They should cap the company profits, because I bet you money that they are making bank, or they should tax them to death. Yeah. Figure out a way to tax them to death so they can't weasel out of it. Now you're talking. But let's excuse me. Let's see what we got. McLeod. So McLeod, not sure if y'all know who McLeod is or isn't. The company that I work for, I do not work for McLeod. But the company that I work for, one of our competitors, if you will, is McLeod. And then we always give them a hard time. McLeod and CTC. Those are our big competitors. At least in the local area. There's probably more out there, but McLeod and CTC are our competition. We gotta beat our competition. It's not that serious, but they are not sure if anybody's even ever heard of them before, other than myself. What does McLeod Health have today? Let's take a look. Francis Marion University. Where is Francis Marion? I don't know. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh well. So I was asked, I think pretty seriously also, to help with a TikTok for the company that I work for. They said, "Hey, do you want to be on TikTok with us?" And I was like, "I don't know. Do I want to be on TikTok for y'all?" And they were like, "Yeah, you could tell facts and stuff, I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, sure." Nothing's ever come of that, so I think that more and more companies are going to start doing company-driven social media. Whereas right now, this is strictly my channel. I'm not gonna sell to my company, anything like that. But they asked me if I wanted to do a TikTok for the company. I think it's only so that I can. So I honestly think it's for, because no one else wants to get in front of a camera. It's not very easy to get in front of a camera and talk. It took me a little while to get sort of used to it. But the thing that really helped me, I think, was I just talked to my phone, and it was easy for me. It just came natural. I didn't have any issues at it. It was fairly easy. Excuse me. I thought I had something in there, but I did not. It was just came easy talking in front of a camera, and it was easy. I think it was easier because it was my phone as well. But I think all TikToks are on the phone because they're held straight up and down rather than to the side like that. Because I don't have a TikTok, so I don't know. But I think that they're all sort of long ways. Or as we used to say, is that hot dog or hamburger? When I was in school, you want me to fold that hot dog? You want me to fold that hamburger? Fold a hot dog. Maybe that was just me, but we used to say that in school. When we were folding papers and stuff. Good times. I'd like to go back to elementary school. Not at my age now, but back in the day, maybe. Excuse me. Go back to elementary school. That way my mom could pay all the bills and cook all the meals. I wouldn't have to worry about nothing. I'm gonna go outside and play. Ain't gotta worry about nothing. I don't know about y'all. Y'all's kids go outside and play? Mine do. I know a lot of kids don't go outside and play. They play on their games and stuff, which is unfortunate. But mine still like to go outside and play. So that's good. Hence the whole reason why we're going to this stinking ball tournament this weekend. We'll spend a lot of time out there, but it'll be okay. It's going to be fun. But it is what it is. Excuse me. Um, but we when I was in back to school, when I was in second grade, my school burned down. We got a new school in fourth grade. In third grade, we were all in like mobile units, but on the school grounds. And I don't know why, but I always thought like that was the happiest time for some reason. Like, not the fact that school burned down, but I mean, no one was hurt. No one was hurt when the school burned down. But I just, like, when I look back at those times, I'm like, man, that was so much fun. We had so much fun back then, man. It was a good time. But yeah, it was so much fun. You ever look back at times and you're like, man, that was a lot of fun. And then like when shoot, I can't remember. I think it was Steve Carell in a show or something. He said, you look back at the hardest times and you think, oh man, that was the happiest times. When you look back, and I sort of find that to be true, because when I look back at when I was going to nursing school, I remember it differently than I think it was. I remember it being a good time, not a good time, but I remember it being like a sort of like a peaceful time, or not fun, but it was like the struggle was fun, if that makes sense. If you ever played a game, back, I'm gonna show my age. Back, we used to play Sim City, where you would play Sim City and all of your power on one building would go out, or the water on another building would go out, and the city didn't have enough money to pay for it, and things like that. And eventually what you would do is you would sort of come up with a combination of different things where the city would be making money, and then just like the game became boring. That's sort of how I look at nursing school. Not like I'm living in boring times now, by no means, but it's like I look back at going to nursing school and I'm like, dang, I didn't realize how good I had it. That was a good time. But in reality, it was like, man, that was a hard time. It was not easy at all. I may not have enjoyed it at the time, but looking back, it was that was when back to the game. That was back when my power was going out over here and my water was going out over here, and I didn't have money to pay for either one, and things like that. Yeah, I did love SimCity. Then they came out, SimCity, they had that one first, and then they had another one, I think it was just called The Sim, where you could you were like the person. You could make them do things, like make them go to sleep and things like that. I didn't like that one. I'm not a big fan of that one. I did like SimCity. Late 90s, early 90s, whatever it was, when that came out. Back when you had to put the disc in the computer. Now you can just download everything. But that's sort of how when I look back at nursing school, how it was. Like, man, now that was fun. Now this is different. I got more responsibilities and stuff. But Sims, I had all the cheats. I never had the cheat. I never got into the Sims or these Sims, whatever it was. I never did, but I had to. It's to me. It seemed like it just wasn't very much fun when you got all the cheats, and you did all the cheats, and you didn't get to struggle, I guess. You were like this close to just having a game over. Like, that to me was fun. When you have all the cheats, it's not as much fun anymore. In my opinion. But now, like, you may not know this one. We had Gran Turismo. I had to get all the cheats for that because I couldn't pass my license test. I had a big family, built the biggest house, 7 kids, nannies, housekeeper, had all the money. Ugh. Would you really want 7 kids? Of course, it doesn't sound like you're raising 7 kids if you have nannies and housekeepers. You got people to take care of things for you. You're not really doing nothing. You're just sitting in a hot tub full of money. Sort of like Scrooge McDuck. You know, just jumping in all the coins. Which I never understood. Maybe it's just me. But like even as a child, I was like, wouldn't that hurt? Like to just slam into a mess load of pennies or coins or whatever it is he had, a bunch of gold coins. Like wouldn't all his teeth just explode out of his brain whenever he jumped off that diving board into all the money? Old Scrooge McDuck. Plus, I feel like in the trailer, like the preview, like when the song comes on in the very beginning of the show, can't remember that name right now. He was doing the backstroke and like spitting the coins out. Like, bro, you don't know where all that money's been, man. You don't know where those gold coins have been. Whose hands have been on those gold coins? I worked in a gold mine for a little bit. It's not a clean place. That was a great cartoon. We went to Disney. We've been 4 times, but one time in particular, we went to Disney and I didn't even realize I had a Scrooge McDuck shirt on. And Scrooge McDuck was there signing, doing autographs on the thing and signing his little stamp or whatever. And he pointed me out. He's like, "You, I like your shirt." Of course, they don't talk, but at least the ones in the full blown costumes, they don't talk. But yeah, Scrooge McDuck, he really liked my shirt, and I was like, awesome. Scrooge McDuck called me out. That was cool, man. I like old Scrooge McDuck. But I like DuckTales too. That was a good one. Yeah, Launchpad. Launchpad crashed everything you ever had. He was a trip. Good old Launchpad. Oh well. Launchpad, he's gone now. Well, he's reruns. Darkwing Duck was a good one too. I think they had like crossover. What do they call that? Can't think of the name of it right now. When one show comes off of another show. It's not a rewrite, but it's something like that. Spinoff, yeah. I think Darkwing Duck was a spinoff of Scrooge McDuck DuckTales. DuckTales is one of those shows like if you mention the name to me, the song automatically pops up in my head. Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is another one. That song immediately pops up in my head. There's another cartoon I watched that came on early in the mornings when I was so we had at my school when I was younger, you could show up early. I think the Boys and Girls Club did it. You could show up early or you could show up late, or you could show up early or you could stay late, or you could do both. And like a certain set of teachers would watch you, or maybe they were teacher assistants or something. Maybe they rotated. They got they got extra pay or whatever to stay and watch you, or show up early and watch you. But the X-Men, it was an X-Men cartoon, and there was a Spider-Man cartoon. And if I remember correctly, Aerosmith, like the band Aerosmith, did the theme music to it. And so whenever you say X-Men, all that pops in my head is the Aerosmith song, or Spider-Man is the Spider-Man Aerosmith song. Which I don't know if a lot of people remember that or not. I can't even remember anything about the show, but I do remember that. I had another one too. I can't remember what it was now. Oh, Captain Planet. Captain Planet, that one. That one pops in my head too. Earth, Wind, Fire, Power. Earth, Wind, fire, water, and heart. Were the five powers that created Captain Planet. Cartoons were better back in the day. Yes, they were. But I mean, like, I've seen Captain Planet episodes, since I became an adult. And like one of them, they were like fighting the IRA, like the Irish Republic Army. One of them, they were tackling AIDS or HIV. Like, wow, those were big button issues back in the 90s. You can't really do that anymore. I mean, I guess you can, but no one's going to in a cartoon anymore. No one's gonna. They like, they were like teaching you a lesson, while the cartoon was going on. Yeah, those were definitely hot button issues back in the day. Because the AIDS pandemic, I don't know if it was a pandemic or not, but the AIDS, really hit big. Late 80s, early 90s. That was when it was really, really bad, and people weren't living very long with it. Think Freddie Mercury. I'm not sure, but I feel like I've heard somewhere that he only lived like 3 years when he got it. There was that band, the B-52s. One of their people got AIDS and died very quickly, like within a matter of months. MTV seemed to be real big into AIDS awareness, and even that TLC, which Left Eye, she's since passed on as well. Left Eye had a pair of glasses that had condoms that sort of like came out like those googly eyeballs that she would wear, so that sort of to pass on sort of AIDS awareness, and then practices of safe sex and whatnot. I guess that, I don't know, I don't remember, but I guess that it was not practiced back in the day. Now, a lot of people want to tell you that things didn't come about till now, but it sounds like they were going on back then too. But yeah, I definitely think cartoons were better. They had a meaning back in the day. They had a purpose. When you watched them, you were entertained, or you were enthralled. You wanted to watch that cartoon. You didn't want to you didn't want to see anything else. You wanted to watch that cartoon. You had to see what was going on there. But it was a good time. It was truly a different time. Also, you had to remember your phone number. If you didn't remember your phone number, you were not calling home. You had to keep that jigger in your brain. I still remember my childhood phone number. I think the area code has changed, but I remember the phone number. I could probably get a hold of it. It was a good time. Different times. Still remember my mom's phone number and my sister. Don't really remember too many more people's phone numbers than that. But it's funny sometimes when you're doing like an intake or something at work, and because at work on intakes they want you to do a emergency contact. And when you're doing the intake or something, and when you're doing the intake, one of the questions is, what's the phone number of your emergency contact? So many people are like, oh, I have no idea. Let me get my phone out and look up what their phone number is. It's like, dang, man, I feel like you should know that, like, just in case something happens and some reason you are not with your phone. I feel like you should know your emergency contact's phone number, up here. Just in case something could happen where you do not have that phone. That's just me, but maybe some people agree with me, some people won't, but it makes it better when you do have that phone number. Makes it easier. You know, excuse me. In any case, probably need to look up some more news. Shoot. As I crack my keyboard amongst something. There we go. Oh, McLeod, go away. Go away, McLeod. You don't need to be here anymore, McLeod. Let's see. Well, why are you closing? Let's see. Are you? There's apparently a facility in Maine. Let's see. Is it closing due to difficulties hiring enough staff? So many facilities are closing just because of they're having difficulties hiring enough staff. There's so many stinking places that just can't get people. I don't think it's, I don't think we should like make nursing easier to get into, but at the same time, like, dude, we really need more staff here, man. We really need to get people in rather than push them away. It's just crazy hard to get staff in. I don't want to say we're having issues because we don't really have we don't really have anything like that. But we're just having terrible issues getting staff. Or we're not having terrible issues. Like as a whole, nursing as a whole, we're just having terrible issues getting staff. And I think it's a lot of it too. People are probably worried after that Redonda Vault thing. That nurse who accidentally did kill someone. And then did the right thing and confessed to doing it, and then 2 years later was charged for it. Found guilty too. She was sentenced lightly, but she was found guilty of it, which is no fun. Which is that poor woman didn't. That was no fun for her. Poured it on the vault. I was glad to see that the sentencing was lighter than what it could have been. But it is what it is, I guess. If you don't remember that one, Redonda Vault was the nurse in Vanderbilt, which is actually a very good hospital. Vanderbilt is a phenomenal hospital. Sorry, I'm texting while I'm live streaming. Maybe I shouldn't do that. But Vanderbilt, probably the best hospital in Tennessee, and that's where the incident happened, and they sort of like pushed it under the rug. There was another nurse, I think it was in New Jersey. They actually made a movie about it called The Good Nurse. Apparently it was a very good hospital, and the good nurse went around and he killed something like 200 people back in the day. Let me see, how many was it? The Good Nurse, I think that was the name of that movie. The Good Nurse. During his 16-year nursing career in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Yeah. How many killed? Yeah, how many people did he kill? 40 people. Excuse me. He killed 40 people. The Good Nurse did. Which is a terrifying statistic when you think about it. He killed 40 people. Didn't get caught until he was, 16 years into it. That's a long time to be killing people as a nurse and not get caught. There was a nurse in Texas who maybe about 2 years ago, I think COVID had just started. He got caught by putting air ambulances in the people. He'd run them through their PICC lines and put air in them. Now air, like that movie, I think it's called The Omen. It showed what's her name getting killed, Julia Stiles, getting killed with an air ambulance, but she had like a little one, and then and it showed it like that. Well, if you've seen that movie, The Omen, and the way that air ambulance goes in her, that pump would not have done that. The pump would have thrown a code, or the pump would have shut down. If they were running it freely, it wouldn't have. But there's also filters. They're, at least the ones I used to have, they're like little square things, and they trap bubbles in there, things like that. But I don't believe that she would have died like that. In The Omen. I wish I could show it. I wish I could show that clip right now. But my biggest thing is I'm too scared to I'm too scared to get like copyrighted. From YouTube. So I wish I could show that. The Omen. Maybe I can. Let's. We're an hour in. Let me see if I can find it, and then we'll. Maybe if I. Julia Stiles. Death. It's a 44-second scene. Probably need to give credit to whoever it is. 2006. I can't remember. I was not in nursing yet. I was a little bit out of nursing, about 3 years, depending upon when it happened. Out of nursing. In any case, we're gonna go ahead and try it out. And if a strike happens, a strike happens. I hope it doesn't. But we're gonna go ahead and that was back in the, what year was that? 80, 88 maybe. Oh, now I'm just thinking. Now I'm curious about when Neverending Story was. 1984. Wow. But I know you said you hate cars. Morgan said she hates cars. She wants a George Jetson tunnel where you get in the tunnel and get sucked up into it, go to your destination. That would be pretty cool. That was the old George Jetson. He was something else. Kept seeing things on Facebook that said George Jetson was born this day, because apparently he was like 40 in 2016 62 or whatever it was, you know. So George Jetson was born this day. You know, it is what it is. Oops. In any case, I'll have to head on over here in the next little bit. I gotta go get my kids from school. So, true story. I have driven my golf cart to school for a long time. Pick my kids up from school on my golf cart. I would wave at the dare officer. Hey, dare officer. And I'd drive by and wave at the dare officer. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, whatever it was, I get pulled over in the car rider line on my golf cart. And the sheriff says, you're not allowed to drive your golf cart into school anymore. I said, dang. I said, I understand. It's okay. I'm not going to pitch a fit. I just won't do it anymore. And let me go. Didn't even ask for license registration, nothing like that. They just told me I couldn't do it anymore. I think because I did not pitch a fit that they were cool with it. But evidently, I got myself into a little bit of trouble. And they did not want me to drive my golf cart anymore. So, oh well. It is what it is. It happens. It happens from time to time. I understand her point. You know, the officer was a lady. I understand her point. She said it could be dangerous. We just don't want you to drive it up here anymore. I said, okay. I understand. So, I'm not sure if someone complained, which is what I think happened. Someone complained. And was like, I'm tired of seeing that golf cart up here every day. You know, which, you know, people are entitled to their opinion. But you know, can't drive a golf cart to the school no more. Sad day. Oh well. Yeah. Tis what it is. Was what it was. You know, things happen. It is sad, but it is okay. My oldest liked driving home. That was her favorite part. I'll let her drive to the school. We really don't live about maybe a mile from the school, so you know, it's really not. If she wants to drive to the school, she can drive to the school, you know, on a later day. But you know, subscriber. You know, it is what it is. In any case, it is now time to end the live stream. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to head on off of here. Hope everybody has a good weekend. I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything over the weekend because of all the plans we got going on. So, hope it helps you guys. See y'all